What's up, everyone? So I just wanted to do a quick update. I got a podcast episode taping set for a couple hours from right now. And I kind of just want to use this opportunity to game plan how I would like for this podcast taping to go. This will be my sixth episode. First one was my friend Vito, then my friend Bertrand, then my lady Christina, then my friend St. Alban, the mysterious St. Alban, and then Gary Smith, who I made a movie with, also my friend. And the next episode is going to be with Gianella Flores, a very talented artist and friend. What I've been thinking about as I come closer to taping this episode today is I think I would like to I have a desire to be less structured with the actual format of this podcast. The apex frequency the apex frequency, for anyone who is wondering, it's a separate YouTube channel. Feel free to check it out. Just type in the apex frequency and it'll come right up. But, when I consider how the first two episodes were presented and the general overall theme of the podcast series was focused on health and wellness, which is fine and acceptable, and I understand that that's the market that I'm moving into so far as making a profit and becoming a brand in that industry or profession, however you want to call it. However, when I actually spend time with, myself, and I consider how I'm developing after actually consistently posting content for the past 8 months at this point, on a very consistent basis, and noticing the things that are actually happening in my mind so far as the desire to be more engaging with people and actually develop higher levels of social skills that weren't really that interesting to me a year ago. So now, keeping that in mind, I sort of have a different approach to the podcast taping and see it less of a emphasis on health and wellness and how can I help you, how can you help me. Yeah, that's still there, but honestly, I really just want to have a conversation with people. And it brings me back to something that my father had told me many times when I was growing up, where he would talk about how he acquired wisdom over the course of his lifetime. And he would always say that it was hours and hours of listening to people, listening to their stories, asking them questions, and learning about the things that he found takeaways. He would sit down with random strangers at a local watering hole or in college, people that are taking a major that's the polar opposite of his, criminal studies, because he's a lawyer. And he would sit down and speak with these people, and he would learn about them, and he would always say that that's how he acquired wisdom in life. At the time when he would say this, and I was a child, it made sense, but I was never interested in actually practicing it. I didn't think that there was just no level of interest in sitting down and listening to people and their stories. And that feels no longer aligned with where my heart is leading me to go. I'm intrigued, and I want to learn more about individuals and people as a whole. And for this upcoming podcast episode, Yes, my guest is a friend of mine, but how well do I know her? Do I know her life story, the best moments of her life, the worst moments of her life, the things that she thinks about throughout the day? And that's what I'm curious about at this point in time. And I would honestly like to kind of pursue this curiosity beyond just my upcoming guests, but to future guests as well. Perhaps I would love to still be able to assist in whatever way that I can, so far as a person's development and growth and health and wellness, their well-being. But on my end, I do have a personal desire to discover people that was not here in me until recently. And I want to pursue that desire. It's interesting. It's weird how things are shaping up. Before, when I first started posting more consistently, it was literally about like telling a really great story, making money, quitting my day job, getting laid. And now it's a bit harder to articulate what feels like the end goal. I know it's with people. I know that the end goal is with people now. And it's exciting. And I think that there's a lot that I can learn now that I'm ready to. Whereas in the past, I understood the logic, like I said, that my dad would say is acquire wisdom through listening to people, but I just could not bring myself to do it. And now I feel ready. Which means I really would like to start scheduling these podcast episodes more frequently. And before I had like a prerequisite of the type of guest that I wanted. A person who was ambitious, a person who had stuff going on in their life that they wanted to accomplish. And the general idea was to network with them and figure out a way that I could assist them in their endeavors and pursuits while they also simultaneously assist me in mine. Which is all well and good. And I'm sure that a number of my future episodes will consist of collaborating in such a way that I just described. But it definitely feels like it's taking a backseat to learning about people and who they are and acquiring higher levels of social skills. I was taking, I'm going to leave it with this, but I was taking a leadership class for my day job. It's called Lead Well, and I was recommended to take it. It was a 6-month little class thing, once a month for the entire day. And one of the first couple of classes, I think it was like the second class, they did a little segment on emotional intelligence, and how that was the highest indicator of success in any industry. People who scored high in emotional intelligence were the most likely to succeed in whatever pursuit that involved people. Literally whatever pursuit that involved people. So pretty much everything, if you think about it. And I remember, when it got to that moment in class, I just perked right up because I'm all about becoming successful, truly. And they're talking about emotional intelligence, and immediately I'm like, I have emotional intelligence, so tell me more. And they broke down the 4 quadrants of emotional intelligence, the 4 building blocks, so to speak, the 4 parts. And they were self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and social skills. And to kind of expand on each item, self-awareness is awareness of the self-explanatory, but more so being able to understand your feelings, why you're feeling the way that you're feeling, your thoughts, being able to kind of logically think as opposed to acting emotionally. Things of that nature are all in the same realm of self-awareness. Just the more intimately you know yourself, the better you are to kind of maneuver yourself in any situation, maneuver your emotions, because emotions are going to happen. People are feeling beings. However, it's important not to be governed by your feelings, and instead for you to be the governing force, etc. Then you have self-management, where when you have a level of self-awareness, you apply that self-management to the navigating of that self-awareness. So, and I'm still working on self-management. I would say that I score highest in self-awareness of the 4 quadrants. But self-management allows you to, it's basically discipline. Being in charge of yourself, being the boss of your own mind, body, spirit, soul, feelings, and emotions. Just being the boss. Then you got social awareness. Social awareness is basically being able to read a room, entering an environment, scoping out the atmosphere, and understanding, okay, this room has these types of people in it, so I understand this person is somewhat sensitive based off of past knowledge, so don't make jokes about yada yada yada. And basically just having a developed understanding as to the types of feelings and emotions and the way that people behave in a given room. That's social awareness. Stand-up comics should have a high level of social awareness, because it's all about that saying of reading a room. When you get on stage and you're making a bunch of jokes about old people, but your audience is like old. Again, it depends on how the jokes are being delivered, but you get what I'm saying. Knowing how to read a room is social awareness. And then you have social skills, and that's interaction. Being able to interact with people fluidly, making them feel comfortable, making them feel at home, making them want to see you again and look forward to your presence. That's social skills. Now, I would say of the 4, I stack highest, like I said, in self-awareness, social awareness, and I probably come in lowest at social skills and then self-management, which is kind of disgusting when I say it out loud like that, but I could definitely improve my self-management. Social skills is a developing skill that I am working on currently, and it's actually very fun. There's a lot of complexity to social skills, and I'm really excited as I'm getting more into it, focusing on how I actually speak, how I behave around people. It's actually really fascinating, and I'm going to get more into it in future content. Last night, as I was going to sleep, I was having this little inner monologue that I was expressing out loud to my lady Christina about how you can actually read a lot about how a person is feeling, what's a person's level of investment and interest in a conversation based on the tone of their voice, and that tone changes from moment to moment. So becoming aware of that and kind of applying that to the fact that, like, I'm in control of my own voice, so I have the ability to kind of maneuver or direct a flow of conversation based on how I insert levels of passion and change or modulate my vocal tone in order to create a more interesting dialogue. Still figuring out the wording because it's all very new to me, but it's very exciting. So social skills are growing, and I've posted several videos already about how I'm becoming an extrovert. Well, it's definitely happening, and it's exciting, and we're gonna see where it goes. This is very unexpected, but it's fun. And then last is self-management. Self-management. Self-fucking-management. On the outside, a person could say that I'm self-managed. Because I don't bring other people my shit. And, at the same time, goddamn, I'm so undisciplined. And that is my biggest flaw. So, saying it out loud now and knowing that it's something that I need to continually work on. So, in summary, emotional intelligence, highest indicator of success in any field. And future podcast episodes starting with today, talking. I just want to talk to people and see where the fuck it goes. Yeah. So if you're interested and you don't live in LA, maybe we can do like a Zoom podcast episode and just fucking talk. I'm sure there's a better way of pitching it. But then again, Seinfeld was pitched about a show that has absolutely nothing to do with anything. A show about nothing. So, there's worse pitches out there. Anyway, like and subscribe. We are still on the cut. It's going well. Granted, it always gets hard towards the end, so we'll talk more about that as we get closer to the end. At this point, we're about 24 pounds away from the end, so 5%, here we come. See you later.